the time-lapse version of the bunny in PanPastels and Colored Pencil that we completed during last night's members lesson. Let's take a look at how easy it is to create soft fur, along with some tips that you can apply to your own artwork. I want to keep my gray Canson Me-10s paper clean of any eraser marks, so I pre-draw my bunny onto tracing paper and use white transfer paper to transfer the image onto the paper. Just like that, a clean drawing and no smudges. By the way, all of the supplies that I'm using are listed in the video description. I'm using PanPastels with soft tools to create a base layer for my colored pencils. This is going to give me a soft underpainting for the pencils, which in the end saves me a lot of time. When you apply colored pencils over the paper by themselves, you have to spend more time getting good coverage with the pencils to cover the white, or in this case the gray, of the paper. Normally I achieve that by keeping my pencils super sharp and working them in small ovals or circles. This takes time, a lot of time, and a lot of layers. Because the PanPastels are covering the paper, I can be much quicker and looser with my pencils using this method as I apply them over the top. When I'm done with the PanPastel layer, I apply a light coat of Spectrafix to help the pencils adhere to the paper better and to create a bit of a seal between the PanPastel and the colored pencil. Now, don't think that that's going to completely seal it. If you smudge your hand over the PanPastels, even after they've been sealed with the Spectrafix fixative, they're still going to smudge, but it does help them to stick a little bit better to the paper. If I don't put that fixative over the PanPastel, when I later go and blend with odorless mineral spirits, it would create a bit of a mess, sort of like a paste. So this Spectrafix layer is important. When working with the pencils, I want to pick one small zone and focus on that before moving on. A common mistake that people make is thinking, well, I have this purple in my hand now, I should just go ahead and put the purple everywhere the purple goes. This is not a paint by number. If you want to work that way, your end result is not going to be as clean, detailed, or realistic as it would be if you slowed down and focus on one small area at a time. The other problem with that method is that it is very overwhelming. It takes a lot of time to move from the really ugly stage like you're seeing now into the good ones, since you're not really completing any area until the very end. This can be very discouraging, making you feel like you aren't doing a good job. By completing one small area like the ears or then the eye, you've got these small wins, small areas that you can see look great. That alone can encourage you to keep going instead of giving up before the piece has a chance to look good. Are you enjoying this project? You can follow along step by step with full instructions over at patreon.com/Lachri, where you will get this and hundreds of other lessons. If you want to check out all of the beginner lessons I have available, I will put a link in the video description, along with all of the supplies that I've used. One of the biggest mistakes new artists make is rushing and calling something finished too soon. It usually isn't that the work is bad, it just isn't finished yet. So often the work is only really about a quarter of the way finished when the artist calls it done. Spending more time and focusing on smaller zones can take your work from bland to beautiful. Chances are you have the skill, you just need to be more focused and patient as you work. And remember, as you layer your work, don't just layer to add more pencil. Layer with intent. What is it you're trying to change with that layer? Are you working to get more detail, to get your darks darker, your lights lighter, to fix something specific? Make sure you have that goal in mind as you layer. I regularly see students just keep slapping paint or pencils onto the project and saying, I keep working on it, but it's not improving, or it's just getting worse. This is because they are layering without having a clear goal in mind. Keep layering, but do it with purpose. Ask yourself, what am I changing right now and why? If you're working in your garden, you don't go out and start digging random holes just to work on something. You go out with purpose. You're fixing or improving something specific. Maybe it's pulling weeds, maybe it's trimming a hedge, but you have a goal before you start. Art is the same way. Have a goal before you start throwing color all over the place with each of those layers. Work with purpose. Want more tips on creating soft fur? Check out this kit in here in Colored Pencil and PanPastel.